What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company, and they're headquartered in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and this is their Northwoods Amber. So this is an American amber lager that comes in at 4.9% alcohol by volume, 18 IBU at the time of review. I don't know exactly how old this can is, but it does have a best by date of April of 2026. So according to the brewery, we should be more than good to go. So I'm reviewing this one as a shelfie beer for the month of March 2026. And in fact, I picked up the Lodge Variety Pack from Leinenkugel. It included 12 beers in total, 4 of which are unique, and you get 3 cans of each. I'm reviewing all 4 this month, and I'm starting off with their Northwoods Amber. This is a year-round offering. Actually, 3 of the 4 in the box are year-round offerings. 1 is a seasonal. So this they are calling a smooth lager with a crisp and refreshing finish. On the back here, it says, originally introduced in 1986, Northwoods Amber quickly became a fan favorite in coolers across the country. This amber beer is made with some of the finest quality ingredients, including some hops, barley, oats, and water from right here in Wisconsin, the Leinenkugel family. So I don't know a ton about Leinenkugel other than, I've had quite a few beers from them in the past, but here in the Buffalo, New York area, we don't see much of their stuff outside of the shandies. I will say that I used to love some of their special releases, like their Big Eddie Russian Imperial Stout was fantastic. So when I saw this variety pack, I was like, all right, I haven't had Leinenkugel in a long time. I think I've reviewed 1 beer from them on the channel. It was their Summer Shandy back in 2022. So for me, this is a fun way to kind of like revisit them as a whole and see what they're all about. I do know, I said they're headquartered in Chippewa Falls. I believe I heard some news, I think it was late last year, that they shut down their production factory in Chippewa Falls, although they are still technically headquartered there. They're owned by I think it's Molson Coors. And I think they now just brew a lot of these at the Molson Coors facilities. But this one on the label here, if it was brewed somewhere else, it would say, but it says Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA. So Molson Coors, they might own a facility in Milwaukee. It also has serving size, 12 grams, which is 355, 4.9%. What are the calories? Calories are 162 for people that care about that if you're drinking this. So how does this look in the glass? Absolutely sensational. Holy crap, is that an amber lager? That looks beautiful. It has, dare I say, an amber look to it. Beautiful clarity. You can see my hand. You can see the carbonation. Even without the contraband flashlight, you can see the carbonation. But here you go. Look at that carbonation. It's looking beautiful in the glass. It has about 2 fingers of this very light khaki colored head. On camera, it's probably going to look a little bit darker, but trust me, it has this like light khaki, light tan looking head. Somewhat creamy looking, a little bit of soap sudsy vibe to it, but man, that's a beautiful, beautiful beer. Wow. All right. Amber lager indeed. Let's get a nose. Nice. It kind of almost reminds me of Boston lager. It has like a little bit of that Vienna lager kind of vibe to it. A nice kind of like lightly toasted brown bread. Caramel, toffee, a little bit of a nuttiness. Generic red fruit, like a red apple, maybe even a touch of like a pear. And then it has this earthy, almost floral hop character. Very, very minute. It's there, but not overwhelming. Ooh. Yeah, it has a nice, slightly caramelized sugar kind of malt quality to it. Again, caramel, toffee, maybe even a touch of like a light molasses. But that brown bread's really nice. Maybe even a Scotia honey. But it's nice that hop character there is kind of keeping everything in check in the nose. Earthy, floral. Yeah, it smells pretty damn good for an amber lager. Like, I'm here for it. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That is, to me, very akin to a Sam Adams Boston lager. Maybe like an old school Fat Tire from New Belgium, but the old school recipe, not the newer one. That was an amber ale. This is a lager, obviously a bit different, but kind of in that realm flavor-wise. Body's nice as like lower side and medium, approaching medium, 4.9%, right in the realm of what I want. The mouthfeel, it's crisp, it's clean, it's smooth on the palate. Has a moderate carbonation. It's not too spritzy. It's not too overwhelming with the carbonation. Body mouthfeel are right where it needs to be. And the taste, the nose carried over. But I think there's a little bit more emphasis on like the bready kind of nature of this one, maybe even more like a slightly biscuity. So right at the forefront, it's slightly toasted, like a lighter brown bread, not like a real deep dark brown bread, maybe a touch of like a toasted biscuit as well. There's some of that caramel and toffee, a little bit of nuttiness as well from the malt character. As it passes through, the red fruit kind of hits, but it's, again, not as big as the nose was indicating. Almost like a dehydrated, like a dried red apple. I don't say that a lot. Usually it's like a crisp white apple. This is kind of like dehydrated, dry red apple. And then the finish, it has a nice bitter component that kind of balances this out, which is really welcome for a beer like this. So the dryness is firmly dry, almost into bone dry, but it's not quite bone dry, but it's very firmly dry. And then I get this floral, earthy, and slightly grassy hop note. And yeah, it does have a nice dryness. I don't detect any off flavors. That sip, I got a little bit of like a slight Scotia honey that I was talking about in the nose. This is pretty good. This is pretty damn good. I know, listen, you got to take bias out of the equation when you do beer reviews on YouTube or when you just really drink anything or eat anything. In life as a whole, you should never be biased, especially if you're a reviewer of any sort. And Leinenkugel is known as a shelfie brewery. They focus on their shandy lineup. A lot of you might buy the shandy in the spring and summertime because you want something when it's 90 degrees out, 100 degrees out. Those are fine. Those aren't specifically for me. They were probably for me 10, 12 years ago. This is what I want. Like if I'm buying the variety pack, the lodge pack, and I get 3 cans of this, I get the honey vice, get a dark lager, then a white chocolate white mocha stout. That's a good variety to me, but also something like this is nice. I wanted to review this first because it's a year-round offering and it's just an amber lager. Again, I don't know if it's like their flagship beer, but it's probably like their flagship lager, I would say. And this is nice. Is it blowing my doors off? No. But at the same time, I appreciate a well-crafted, high-quality amber lager. And I think this is up there with the Sam Adams. The world I know Sam Adams, technically Vienna lager, although you ask a lot of people, it doesn't really taste like one you'd get from Germany. But yeah, if you like old school Fat Tire amber ale, you like Sam Adams Boston lager, if you like Elliott Ness from Great Lakes, this is in that realm. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but it's an amber lager that has good flavors, a great balance, 4.9%, you can't tell. It has nice flavors. I'm not going to lose my mind over it, but for what it is, this is like a 4.6, maybe into like a 4.75, stylistically speaking, from an amber lager. This is better than some amber lagers I've had from like hype breweries or more well-known craft breweries. This is flawless in its execution, almost. But for me, it's a very highly rated beer stylistically. Personal ratings be quite a bit lower, of course, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you I love amber lagers, but I can appreciate them. And let me tell you, I appreciate this beer. Look at that, lacing. So just a lovely amber lager. Check this one out if you can grab your hands on or get your hands on the Lodge pack, or you can buy this, I think, in 6 and 12 packs. I saw them in 12 packs. We'll talk about price point availability. But anyway, Leinenkugel's Northwoods Amber. I'm going to go high 4.5. I'm going to go 4.1. This is really nice for the style. Like I said, probably a 4.6, 4.7, stylistically speaking, but this is really well done, and I want to go look up the Untappd rating. I guarantee this is like a 3.5 or lower. I just want to do that before we end it. And if I forget, then go check it yourself, but I'm sure it's super low. Price point availability, I paid $20 for that 12-pack. Most variety packs nowadays are in that realm. Very rare to find a variety pack here in New York State for under 20. Sometimes you get them like around 18 or 19. But if you can find that variety pack from anywhere between 18 to $22, I would give it a go. If you can find it cheaper all day, every day, just because it's fun to try those beers. Even if the other 3 beers aren't for me, it's still a good value. You're talking like $1.67 a can. Yeah, sign me up. And then availability. Oh yeah, the other thing I want to say is that this does come in 12 packs. I did look it up online. Most places had it for $16.99. A couple had it for $17.99. So if you want to buy a 12 pack of just a Northwoods Amber, $17 to $18 seems to be the going rate. So again, about $1.50 a can. Yeah, I would pay that for this. And then availability. I have no idea what Leinenkugel's. Go check out their website. Pretty sure they have a beer finder here in Buffalo and the Western New York area as a whole. I do not see a lot of their beer. I was surprised to see this Lodge pack. Usually we see the summer shandy when it comes out. Their regular shandies. They have a shandy handy variety pack that I see occasionally. If I, now that I'm looking more for variety packs, I can give you more of an informative kind of breakdown of the availability here in the Western New York area. But I went to a couple places and I only saw this at one, and I picked it up because it sounded pretty fun. It was between this and the Adirondack pack from Saranac, but I went with this because those Saranac beers, I've had a couple of them before. I had none from the Leinenkugel pack, so that's what I went with. Anyway, if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. I didn't think in a million years I'd be giving this a 4.1, but I gotta call a spade, and this is a well-constructed American Amber Ale or lager that goes down smooth. No sulfury kind of vibes to it. Very clean finish, crisp, smooth, just a crusher of a beer. Something that if you want to bring it to the lodge or the cottage or whatever you want to call it in the fall and winter, and be by the fireplace and just hammer out like 3-4 cans of this, you'd be having a good time. But anyway, if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. What do you think about Leinenkugel? Have you had Leinenkugel's offerings in a long time? Or recently, have you not had them in a long time like me? Let me know, because again, I haven't had a Leinenkugel beer other than that Summer Shandy in probably a decade. And I remember enjoying a lot of their specialty releases, but I didn't try out a lot of their like year-round or seasonal. So I'm looking forward to getting through this pack. So anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers. I did say 4.9%. You can't tell? Yeah, I did. All right. Shut it down.